Good morning, Bravehearts, and good morning, Garfield, New Jersey. Welcome back to Marv in the morning. How we doing out there, Bravehearts? Welcome back. I'm feeling Mondo Righteous this morning, for sure. This is episode 32. Episode 32 of Marv in the morning. I'm your host, Marv, the producer, the owner and creative director of Bravery Studios. And I'm happy to be here today. I'm happy to be here this morning. It's still Mondo foggy outside. It's been a foggy week. Well, it's Wednesday, right? Not as foggy as yesterday, but definitely foggy still. Not to say the least. But episode 32, what are we discussing today, Marv? We're talking about Imposter Syndrome today. This topic is definitely from Buzzsprout. If you check out their YouTube channel, they pretty much give also tutorials on podcasting, and not to ever claim that, not to ever give credit where credit is due. You got to give them credit, right? They have an episode called "How to Defeat Imposter Syndrome." I said, let me put this in my own words. Let me try to share this with my audience as well. Anyone who hasn't seen their video, go check that out as well. But the timestamps will be below if you want to skip ahead to the meat and potatoes. If you're watching post live, you will have the ability to do so. Lucky you, huh? Lucky you. You get to skip it. You get to time travel. Watching something post live is like time travel. I'm just figuring that out today. I was today years old when I figured that out. That's crazy, right? I'm gonna skip ahead. Let me just go to the future, man. Cause I got things to do. But if you like what I'm saying, if you like what you're hearing, and you think I'm cool in any sort of way, make sure you hit the subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, and hit that notification bell if you want to kick it with me Monday through Thursday on Marv in the morning. Because, you know, that notification bell, it does something called notifying. It's a strange concept. Bizarre, foreign, alien concept. Kind of tells you when I go live. This is Einstein Rosenberg over here. This is next level over here. Next level jazz over here. Next level. But yeah, thank you for being here, whoever's there. Listen, you looking to start a podcast? Bravery Studios is the place to do it if you're in the tri-state area. We're New Jersey's #1 podcast studio with a community of over 20 podcasts that record here weekly. We have events, we have photography space, we have videography space. Listen, you name it, we do it here in Bravery. All you have to do is come here and speak your truth or truths, and we take care of the rest. We make it happen for you, baby. We're Bravery Studios, and the name Bravery, I think, it's a counterattack on imposter syndrome. I come to the realization that what we've had to fight our entire journey as creatives, other than the intangible enemy is, of course, imposter syndrome, right? I would say, hey, listen, I'm getting deep over here. I don't get paid to do this. So you're getting this for free, baby. You're getting this upfront and direct. But Bravery Studios is 100% worthy of your podcast, and it's up to you to decide whether you are worthy of bravery, whether you will combat this intangible enemy that is imposter syndrome. And let me get off my high horse for a second and just say, listen, man, there's no better place to make these dreams a reality than Bravery Studios. Come podcast with us. That's what we're good at over here. Let's make it happen, baby. The daily shout out. People love these shout outs, people. I think it's pretty cool, shouting people out. I think I feel connected, and we're building strands and connections and networking. I think live from Bravery Studios, these interviews that I do live from Bravery Studios, is creating the spider web of individuals that are in this network. And amazing people that I've met, all the fat, skinny people, all the tall, short people. Who would have imagined? Who could have imagined that I would meet so many people on this amazing journey through creativity, right? But The daily shout out today goes out to my bro. I love this guy. Shout out to Malcolm Carter, the captain, the GM of the It's Friday Super Podcast. Got to sit down with him yesterday, and it's been a couple years since I've been on a podcast with Malcolm. Just me and him chopping it up, and we were just going down history lane, and discussing how we met, how he got to Bravery, his own podcast journey, where he's at now in life, and gosh darn it, do I love Malcolm Carter, man. That guy, definitely a bro. Check out his page over here. This is the king himself, the captain of the ship, Captain Carter, host of this Friday Super Podcast. My bro's getting married too, man, and shout out to his lady and him. They're going to be tying the knot soon. And listen, we've had our ups and downs. We've had our hugs and our tugs of war. And, I can't imagine going the rest of my life without seeing that goofy smile of his. Shout out to Captain Carter. What a legend, man. What a legend. Podcasting almost 10 years. Started at his house. And went to one podcast studio, and he said it was a nightmare and almost made him never want to go to a podcast studio again. Thank the universe that this man gave Bravery Studios a shot, and he's here with us today. Since February 2019 to October 2022. Yeah, man. Shout out to Captain Carter. Love that guy. Episode coming soon on live from Bravery Studios, even though we recorded it in prototype. I've actually been considering renaming these interviews, considering that now I'm kind of like the journeyman and I'm on the road. I definitely am inspired by Jason Enrique, just going all over the place and recording pods. And shout out to the Roadcaster. That thing is doing me justice. Doing me young justice on the road. It's really a Roadcaster. It's really like, hey, you want to go somewhere? Let's go. A.O. Let's go, baby. A.O. Let's go. Also got to interview awesome guys, awesome cats from Memphis yesterday. Ash, Austin, Spec, rappers, creatives, visionaries. And that interview's coming down the pipeline soon, somewhere in the middle of November. And yeah, I really need to decide and need to figure out if I want to release interviews bi-weekly or only weekly. And if I do bi-weekly, what other day of the week would I choose? What would be the day? Like, hey, this is another day where you could, listen to an amazing conversation. And, doubling up. And that would also mean that I would have to spread them out, and also maybe release 2 videos a week on the same day, because Marv in the morning is in the morning, and then live from Bravery Studios in the afternoon. What are we gonna do here? Either way, I'll figure it out. We're gonna see. Give me your thoughts and your opinions. Talk in the chat. Tell me what you think over here. But let us continue. Let's go down this rabbit hole. All right. Let's get into the meat and potatoes. Let's talk about defeating imposter. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about imposter syndrome over here. Okay. So I'm trying to think back, if I've dealt with imposter syndrome myself, and if I haven't, how would I be able to relay this information? And I think I've kind of never really liked to claim what I go through, because on a conscious level, I want to stay focused on the goal. Not really on what's keeping me from the goal, but just what I have to overcome. It kind of goes to the background, I guess, once I've overcome it. Shout out to DX the Great. He said that Terry poster hard. It's actually digital, so it's not, you can't feel the texture. Oh, you meant hard like it goes, it's cool. Oh, yeah, I knew that, bro. I mean, yeah, I knew that, bro. Shout out to my bro DX the Great over there in North Kakalaki, dealing with places that don't take his credit card. But yes, indeed. Have I dealt with imposter syndrome? Yeah, I think so. I think that whenever you have doubts about what you're doing creatively, that's a battle with imposter syndrome, right? Listen, I'm no geographer. I don't know nothing about anything psychological, but what I can tell you is that when I deal with things, I try not to label a word or place a name to what I'm dealing with, giving it a persona. I don't want to give it a persona. I want to say, if that makes sense to you. But yes, I have dealt with imposter syndrome. I've dealt with doubts. I dealt with asking myself, "Hey, are you good enough?" You know, these people. You know, the whole community of Bravery Studios is on your shoulders. Are you gonna do right by all these people? Can you do right? Is it within your utility belt to help these people achieve these dreams that they have? And yeah, that thought does come to mind from time to time. I guess I'm kind of cocky too, because I don't let that ever I don't ever subscribe to it. Like, you know, when you get those letters in the mail, hey, subscribe to this magazine. Whenever imposter syndrome comes over and it says, hey, subscribe to the imposter syndrome magazine, I usually say no. I just ignore it. I block the email and it goes straight to my spam folder that is within the recesses of my cranium over here, right? I don't ever give it that much thought. But for sure, I want to give you some of the strategies and tips that I learned watching this Buzzsprout video, and also going to send you that way too if you want to see it directly from the from the people I got it from, right? The source I got it from. But yeah, let's talk about it. The first step of defeating imposter syndrome is check your doubts by claiming your achievements. Check your doubts. Like, hey, if something comes in your head, like you're not good enough for this, you're not worthy of this, look back at your achievements. Look back at what you've done. Look back at all the struggles that you have overcome to get you to where you are. You know, when something says, are you worthy of this? And say, yeah, I did blank, blank, blank. I have 100 episodes in. I've created a logo. I've worked with some amazing people. I've led so many podcasts to success over here. Like, yeah, you darn right. You're darn tootin' right. I'm worthy of this. Absolutely over here. Come on. Who do you think I am? I know who I am, right? You got to say that to yourself. You have to kind of pound on your chest a little bit for your achievements, and really, really check your doubts. Like with those achievements, like, hey, listen, I have done so much, and I've done this for so many years. Absolutely, I'm worthy of this, Mr. Imposter Syndrome. I'm worthy of this. I've come to this place where I am by overcoming all these doubts, all these struggles. Like, absolutely. You know, if I was to land an interview with Howard Stern one day here, and I picked Howard Stern because Jason Enrique texted me today. I was like, yo, you remind me of Howard Stern on the other interview. And I was like, I can go left. But I like the compliment. You can't get mad at being compared to a legend. But yeah, man. If I was to get an interview with Howard Stern, and if I was to ask myself, am I worthy of speaking to such a legend in this field? I don't know if podcasting would exist without Howard Stern. We are definitely the offspring of what he did as a disc jockey, right? He made it more about the conversation and less about the music. It was more about the conversations. And, you know, I don't know the entire history of radio, but I can tell you that from my knowledge, that is definitely what may have inspired podcasting. You know, hey, we'll look it up one day. But I always ask myself if I was worthy of it. Yeah, like, look what I've achieved. Look who I've worked with. Look how much I've invested in this, and how far I've brought other people, and the people I've spoken to already, the hands I've shaken, the rooms I've been in. Like, you're darn tootin', I deserve this. Absolutely. Absolutely. Check your doubts by claiming your achievements. The next step to defeated imposter syndrome is just be yourself and avoid comparison. Avoid the comparisons. I know a lot of the time we look at people who are doing something similar to ourselves, and we say, man, look what they have. Look where they're at, doing the same thing that I'm doing. Why am I not there? Why don't I have what they have? Why don't I have the numbers, the followers, the subscribers, the listeners? Why don't I have what they have? Don't compare yourself to someone. Especially don't compare yourself to someone who's a celebrity doing this. We have an influx of people that are already in the industry who came from already established fan bases, who already have established fan bases doing this thing that we're doing called podcasting, right? They bring their fan base with them. When you might be building it from scratch, and you comparing yourself to a Joe Rogan, a Joe Budden, whoever, you shouldn't compare yourself to these people. They were on platforms where they were able to establish audiences already and carry that over into podcasting. But you need not compare yourself to them. Now, if you're discussing someone on your level, someone who also started from scratch, you may not know what's going on behind the scenes. You may not know what's going on behind the scenes. We all practice fake it till you make it. I would say so. Yeah, like a lot of us. And no one's telling you the struggle. We only see the victories. Like they say about social media, it's a play, it's a stage where we only show the good parts of our lives. We don't really show the struggle. Well, some people display their struggles, but most people don't. So avoid comparing yourself to someone. Look at what you've achieved and what you're trying to achieve still, and focus on that. Build your own fan base. Build your own thing. You don't need to do it like someone else is doing it. And you don't need to ever look at someone else's numbers and feel like, man, I should have that. Keep grinding. Keep on your lane. Stay in your lane and keep doing your thing. You'll get there. You'll get there with consistency, right? Consistency is a big one. That's a big one. That is one of the biggest. And it's one of the terms I come to weekly. Consistency, having a niche, all that jazz. The next bullet point I have here is you don't have to be an expert. You can be a contributor. And this one's major. This one when I heard them say it, I was like, yeah, that's a big one. That is a truth. A lot of the times when we speak on things, like even me here sitting up here speaking about the podcasting world and how to do it, how to be a podcaster, how to make it in the podcast universe. I did have doubts like, hey, am I the right person to speak on this? Do I have the knowledge? Do I have the background? Have I encountered every situation that someone might come and ask me? And I told myself, yes, I'm going to do this, but I am also going to say when I don't know the answer to something. If someone was to pose a question in the chat that I don't have the answer to, I would just easily say, hey, let me go and research this and bring you back what I find. Because I don't have the answer to it. But it's not only about being an expert. Being an expert is great, and people will come to you about being an expert. And you may be an expert without even knowing. But it's also about being a contributor. It's also about asking the right questions. A lot of the media, a lot of being a journalist, it's just asking the right questions. Like hence what I'm doing right now. I'm asking how to defeat imposter syndrome. I looked it up. I wanted to find the facts. I wanted to find this so I could help other people that also deal with imposter syndrome. And I am contributing to the conversation with the facts that I found out there. So like I said, it's not always about being an expert in the field. Not always. Sometimes it's just about being a contributor. Don't doubt that you have something to say. If you have something to bring to the table and something to bring to the conversation, then that matters too. Definitely matters too. Yeah, don't doubt yourself, buddy. Don't doubt yourself, buddy. The next one is celebrating your W's, baby. Come on, look at what you've done. Look at how far you've come and what you've achieved in your lifetime of doing this. You have to look back and celebrate. We have this hustle mentality where we don't look back on what we've done because we're so focused on what we're trying to achieve now. But turn around for a second, only for a second, and just think of what you've come past, how far you've come in this journey. Like the things that you've achieved, the struggles that you've overcome just to get to where you are now. Take time to look at these things and say, man, I made it through the fire and flames, like that song from Guitar Hero 3. Like, yes, yes, celebrate the W's. Like, look at me. Dude, this business started in a room in my business partner's house, former business partner's house. And look how far we come from one studio with one room to two studios, and then moving to Clifton, then moving here. Like, yo, we have achieved a lot. And it would be disrespectful to myself if I don't look back and say, yeah, Marv, you've done it. You stayed consistent. You've achieved a lot. You've achieved a lot. Celebrate that. Celebrate what you've done. That's how you get those the demons of insecurity out of your mind. Celebrate what you've done. Look at back. Put a plaque on your wall. You've deserved it. You've earned it. Give yourself flowers. It's very common now for us to say to other people, like, yeah, I'm going to give you your flowers while you're still around to smell them. Yeah, and that's awesome. That's awesome. But you have to give yourself flowers too. Yeah, you have to give yourself flowers too. You have to absolutely give yourself flowers for what you've achieved. I'm constantly telling my podcasters here, like, listen, you've done a lot. You've done amazing things. You are the leader. You are pushing a boulder up a mountain. Hey, like, pat yourself on the back sometimes. You don't have to do it all the time. You know, you don't want to be that person like, oh, look at me over here. You know, ha. You don't want to be that guy or girl, but you definitely want to look back at what you've done and be proud of yourself. Be proud of yourself, ultimately. That's ultimately what it comes down to. I don't know what more else I can say. I don't know what else there is to say. But look back on what you've achieved and be proud of it. You deserve it. You've earned it. Look in the mirror. Look in the mirror and say to yourself, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to live on, baby. We're going to survive. Because today we celebrate our bravery. And yeah, that's the speech from Independence Day. I just thought it was fitting. He actually says today we celebrate Independence Day. But overall, in conclusion, Bravehearts, like, listen, this whole business that I run here is called Bravery Studios. Like I said, as a counter to imposter syndrome and as a counter to insecurities, even the insecurities that I have. Like, listen, I think it takes a tremendous amount of bravery to tackle any endeavor creatively, financially, or emotionally, I guess you can say as well. It takes a tremendous amount of bravery. And, you know, bravery is not the absence of fear. It's not, hey, I'm not afraid. Bravery is the strength to push forward despite that fear. It's the will to continue on your mission despite the fear, despite it, right? And, you know, I couldn't have chosen a better name for this business because, listen, I have my fears and my doubts and my insecurities. Not everything goes perfect. Not every road is smooth. There's some rocky roads. Shout out to Rocky Road ice cream too. That's like my favorite ice cream. But yeah, dude, like, not every road is gonna be smooth on this journey. On any journey, actually. But stay consistent. Stay on stream. Have some bravery. Have bravery. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching today. Mellow little stream. We'll be back mañana. Mañana is Ask More of Anything, right? People love those Ask More of Anything days. That's when the house gets packed. But love speaking on this. Probably will continue to speak on this as I learn more. Like I said, I have never been the philosopher. I've never been a psychologist. I learned these things and I spread that information with you. I think of what podcasters are struggling with or maybe struggling with and try to pass that information on to everyone that watches Marv in the morning. And I hope this is of value to you. I hope this helps you. That is my goal every day that I do this. I hope that I'm providing value to what you are doing and I'm helping you out on this journey. But yeah, feel free to ask me anything you want, whenever you want. I'm here. I'm your guide. Take my hand and I will set you free, like the Sonic Adventure 2 song. But like I said, short little mellow stream, Bravehearts. We'll be back tomorrow with more Marv in the morning. It's Ask Marv Anything Thursday tomorrow. So pull up. I don't know what the topic is going to be. I haven't really thought of it yet, but those are always good ones. But until then, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Give the video a thumbs up. And I'll catch you mañana, Bravehearts. Keep on keeping on.